Good morning, my BFFs. Welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is my name is Robin Finch Smith. It's Monday, which means it's time to make something together with me. Okay. So, today we're going to be making jelly soap. Okay? And there's a lot to learn with jelly soap, okay? So, I don't want you to freak out. The very first time I tried to make it, it took me a while to figure it out because I didn't know what I was looking for. So, hence the Make With Me Monday, so then I can show you what you're looking for so you can circumvent annoyances. Oh my gosh, I'm getting comments. First one's from Danielle. Hey, what's up, girl? Guys, I'm getting comments today. This is amazing. Okay, I've already turned this eye on to heat it up. That sounds beautiful. I'm going to use these little cups. They're like these little deli cups that I got for Play-Doh, Bubble Bath Play-Doh. Does that excite you? I can't tell you what the next ebook might be, but could strongly be Play-Doh. Anyway, I got this for Play-Doh. We're going to pour the bubble jelly soap into here. And then I have these little teeny tiny bunnies. Aren't they cute? Hold on, I'm gonna be like an influencer. Hold on. See these tiny bunnies? Aren't they cute? Oh my god. And then I'm gonna put them in here. And they're just like barely tall enough to go in there. And then I put the jelly over them so it's like a little Easter thing. It's gonna be cute. So let's get started. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm gonna have to like refer to the ebook. Hold on. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just right here trying to see things. Okay. We are gonna make. Okay, so there's two types of carrageenan. What makes this jelly is a ingredient called carrageenan. Okay, there's this one, kappa, and then there's this one, iota. Just casual jokes about domestic things. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna use, to make them really wiggly, we're gonna use iota. If we wanted them to be more firm, like the ones I'm gonna make on Patreon when we're done with this, that I would use kappa for. So now that we have all of that down and in place, I have to write this out really quick. I'm sorry. I thought I had it in my like my spreadsheets, but I only have the firm bars in my spreadsheet. Sorry. Tasha says hello. Hello. Amanda says cute. Thank you, right? And Kathy says hello. Hello, guys. Okay, so let me see this real quick. I can do this in my head. Hold on. You know, you can do it in your head until you're like on a live stream, and then you're like, tell me, calculator, what is 1 + 1? And this, yeah, okay. Hold on, let's put that away. So I'm gonna need, hold on. Hold on, I'm looking. I have to do grams to ounces real quick. You know what? Screw it. I'll just make a bunch, and then whatever I make, I'll just use. And then if I don't have it, I just won't. Okay. 4 times that is that. Yeah, because there's some wonky numbers in here. Times that is that. And hold on. I'm almost done. 8 times this is that. And last one, I swear. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to start off with my glycerin. So we use glycerin. And then I'm going to put my carrageenan inside of the glycerin to make sure that it gets like super like mixed in together. You don't want to combine it with water because it won't. So you don't want to do that. you definitely want to combine it. You can use your propylene glycol, or you can use your glycerin, but just don't use like the water. That's part of this recipe because it won't work. Oh, shoot. Gloves, y'all. Y'all are just gonna let me. Y'all are just gonna let me start doing things, huh? I see. I see. Also, daylight savings time, rude. It's rude. I don't appreciate it. Also, I lost like most of last week, like half of last week, and then almost the entire weekend because I hurt my shoulder really bad. And like I refused to go to the doctor for it until finally I was like, I couldn't do anything, and I was like crying. And so my husband was like, okay, you said yesterday if it wasn't better today that you were gonna go. And I was like, I know, but maybe tomorrow it'll be better. But then I realized if I didn't go on Friday, I was not going to be able to do anything on Monday. So I went to the doctor on Friday because of you guys, okay? I'm not a huge fan of the whole doctor thing. Doctor who? Yes. Doctor? No, don't like doctor. Kathy says, hey Kathy, what's up? Okay, so I'm going to put I have my glycerin in here. I'm going to put my carrageenan in here. Now, in the ebook, I think Amanda used a double boiler. And I'm not going to do that just because I don't know. I feel like, okay, so I feel like when I tried to make it with a double boiler, it took forever. And I could never really get it up to the temperature that is called for in the ebook. So I just stopped, I just stopped using the double boiler, and I stopped really checking the temperatures. So that's totally up to you if you want to do that or not. I'm just saying that's what I did. It's totally up to you. So you can see when I mix the carrageenan in with my glycerin, how it's all in there nice and smooth. I'm just going to keep stirring a minute to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then to this, I'm going to add everything that isn't heat sensitive, but I'm also going to get my heat sensitive ingredients ready with in here, but you know, we'll go in order. But I like to have everything already ready before I pour in here. So I like to have my mica, my preservative, and my fragrance already pulled and ready to go, because when it's time to pull it from the heat and add those things, you want to be able to move fast. So you're not really going to have time to be measuring out your preservative and to be measuring out your fragrance after you pull it. So after you pull it, you basically need to pour really, really quick. So we're not there yet, though. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. Okay, so there's my glycerin, my carrageenan, and now I'm going to add my water, which there is a lot of water in this. And because of that, there's this really cool chemical thing that happens called syneresis. It happens with almost every gel. Maybe every gel. I don't want to say every gel because I don't know if it happens with every gel, but pretty much every gel this happens. So it's like the sour cream when you go to your fridge and you pull the thing off the sour cream and it's like has water on top of it, or when you are getting ketchup and the ketchup has water on the top of it. That's syneresis. It's normal. There's really no way to avoid it completely, but there are ways to make it better. In the Patreon this week, I'm going to be talking about how I'm going to be making the firmer bars. And I'm going to talk about how I tweaked it to be more to my preference and to have less syneresis for me. But, you know, everybody's preferences are going to be different. But I am going to talk on Patreon about how, what things to tweak if you're looking for a specific, outcome, right? So if you're in Patreon and you're curious about how to tweak it for yourself, then just let me know. And really, this is because the last time I destashed them, I've made them for my household. So, for my kids or my husband or whatever, or personal use. But I never had, sold them, and so we destashed a bunch of them. And I was like, the ones that I didn't tweak had more centeresis than I wanted, and so as I went back and I kind of tweaked it and stuff. But everybody's going to have their own personal preferences, and this is all going to depend on like the ingredients you have available to your process, you know. So there's a lot that goes into it, so please don't think that like if it's not working for you right away that like something's wrong. It's just practice. It took me about half a day, I think, but there was like a half a day of kind of constantly texting Amanda and being like, what is it supposed to look like here? What is this supposed to do here? So that's what this is now. Like you can't FaceTime Amanda all day or me all day, but you can watch these videos and learn. So there we go. All right, so this is all in here. Now before I put it on the heat, I'm gonna measure out my preservative and my fragrance. Need this little guy. He's so cute. It's a scale and a scale. It's cute, right? This total is, hold on. This total is, with my little eye, plus okay. So there's that, and then let's get our fragrance. I'm gonna use Windjammer because I bought it for making freshies, and it stopped working. I don't know what changed, and so now I have a bunch of it and I don't have anything to do with it. Preservative, you're gonna want to, this is Phenonip. Okay, you're gonna want to use something that has a high heat tolerance so that you don't have to wait for it to cool down, for the jelly to cool down when you're ready to pour it. So if it cools down too much, then it kind of gets that weird skin looking thing on it, and that's fine. I would say that the best part about the iota bars is that they are easier to remelt and rework. So, you know, that's easier for them to rebatch. And even in my firm bars now, I always have like a little bit of, I'm just going to put like, I know it looks like a, okay. Okay, I was going to say I'm just going to put a little bit, but I didn't. I put a lot of it. Whoops. I do want these to be sparkly though, so I am going to use Super Sparkles from Nature's Garden. Nurture Soap. This is like a really sparkly, shiny, very light, not itchy, which I think is the most important thing to me. It is not itchy. Because sometimes glitters that get used are itchies. I don't like that. All right. This looks wonderful. Okay, I'm going to grab this. Scooch it on over. That green, by the way, was, this green was Dublin green, I want to say. True green from TKB. So now I'm just going to start cooking. I had it on high and I have it on like medium now. And I'll see if I need to turn it up a little bit. But we just start cooking. And you can do this on a hot plate like I'm doing it right now. I think when I do it on my stove, I have a gas stove. And to me, it goes so quickly on my gas stove. Like literally within minutes, right? Like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, it is done. It's a little bit on an electric burner like this. It's gonna, because of the way the heating element works, it goes up and down, you know? So it takes a little bit longer on a gas hot plate or a gas stove than it does on a no, strike that, reverse it. Takes longer on an electric than it does on a gas. So the other ingredients that I added was propylene glycol. You really want, like, if you don't want propylene glycol or you can't find it, you can use propanadol 1,3. That makes a great, it's identical. You cannot tell the difference. The only difference is that propanadol is more expensive than propylene glycol. But That's part, like the propylene glycol is part of what gives it like its texture and its shape, so it works really good. It's otherwise it's kind of like not, it's not going to work as well. Okay, I said hi to Kathy. Pamela says, you never get to catch me live. I know, it's because daylight savings time, I think, maybe. Or maybe not, but could be. I was thinking this morning, though. I was like, wonder if I should have reminded people that it's daylight savings time. I don't know. Scandalous Soap says, hi, we know you. Hey, what's up? What's up? How can I be in two places at one time? I'm not. Daniel says, howdy. Hi, Daniel. And Nectaria says, hi. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little glimpse right now. Kind of. It's kind of like, you see how it's kind of like, if I'm going like this, you can see it's kind of like, can you see this? Okay. So it's not ready yet. That's like an applesauce stage. See how here on my thing looks like applesauce? So it's not ready yet, but it's very close to being ready. Very close. And honestly, like, usually if you get it to the boil, then it's done. Once it gets to a boil, it's done. The other thing is, like, I like to go like this, scrape the sides. You can see that it's forming a gel on the sides. I think that it's currently done. Here's how I'm going to check it. I could get out my digital thermometer and check it by weight, but I found that it's way more useful for me to do like this. Just put a little dot on a cool surface like my prep table here, and then, well, you can't see that, so it's probably not as helpful as I think it is. Hold on. hold on. I'm gonna put a little dot on this thing so I can hold it up to you. So I'm gonna put a little dot right here. I mean, you can see right here on the spoon that whoops, you can see on the spoon that it was getting formed together, but this is what I like to do. I put a little drop somewhere, and then I'm like, when I can touch it and it's not like, you know, completely crumbling and falling apart, then I know that's ready. Or if you drop it on your hot plate and it just travels across the surface of your hot plate, you could also know it's done like that. But that was the biggest thing for me, was figuring out what I was looking for, because I really wasn't sure. And I think the thing is, like, one of the things I did when I couldn't figure it out for a hot minute, and Amanda was like, okay, here, let's pull it back a little bit. I'm just putting it on here to heat up so I can put it on in the cups. But Amanda was like, okay, let's pull it back a little bit. Let's just use the Kappa or the iota, the carrageenan, and let's just add that. This is my fried blob. She was like, let's just add, like, just add the carrageenan and the water, right? And does that make a gel? And so that's what we did. We went like slowly through each ingredient, like, so I could figure out what was going on. I could figure out what I was looking for. So if you're having trouble with it, I think one of the best things to do is just add water to your carrageenan, cook it a little bit on the eye, and then see where that gets you, right? See where that gets you. All right. I think it's ready to go. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know that it is. I want it to be smoother, though. Hold on. We're just going to do this real quick. I want it to be really smooth before I pour it. And I know you're like, oh no, you already put your preservative in. I know. And I know you're like, oh no, you already put your fragrance in. And I know I did. But you can put them in there just for a quick second. They can tolerate a little bit of it. Most of the time it's that they can't tolerate being at that temperature, at their threshold temperature, for an extended amount of time. So usually we shall see. Okay, bye bunnies. I need y'all to go away for just a second. You're cute and everything, but no, bye. Now I haven't tested these cups to see if they can withstand the heat, so we're about to find out together. Isn't that fun? Okay. I mean, I'll know pretty quick, so. It's gloopy, it's sloopy, it's sloshy. It's jelly. Am I doing a terrible job at pouring it in? Yes, I am. Could I have probably found a better way to do this? Yes, I probably could have. Is it still going to work? Absolutely, yes, it's still going to work. So how do you use these jellies, or how do you like teach your customers how to use these jellies? One of the things I like to tell people to do is to put it in the fridge, and then when you're ready to take a shower or a bath, pull it into the bath with you. It feels amazing to have an ice cold jelly soap, like especially if you've gone out and have been exercising or have been out in the heat. I think it feels really, really good. We switched our pipes. We had like our pipes done a while back, and whenever they did it, they like, whoops, too much. Whenever they did it, they made it to where our pipes, like, we can no longer have cold water. It's like one of those water faucet things where it turns, and so even if it's like I've barely turned, it's always going to be warm. There's not a cool setting anymore, which I miss because I like to wash my hair, like do a final rinse in my hair in cool water. But whatever, it's fine. Anyway, having a nice little jelly soap can kind of help that. All right, we're gonna stick our little bunnies in here. It's cute, right? I maybe just stick them on the top like that. I'm sorry. I think that's cute. Okay, I'm gonna put this one in sideways. Okay, that's good. That's good. Look at that. That's cute. Oh my god. Come here, you first one. You always mess up your first child, you know? It's like, sorry. Okay, there we go. How cute is that? These would be perfect for little like stocking stuffers for people. So you do still have time to sell Easter things, and I'm just gonna claim that to be my truth because I made a bunch of Easter bath bombs this weekend when I was supposed to be resting my shoulder. I made a bunch of bath bombs instead. So okay, I'm gonna put a lid on these so we can see one with a lid and see how that looks. And then, well, this one has way too much in it. Sorry. And then when it cools down a little bit, I'll plop one out maybe. Okay. Honestly, these are so cute. Okay, hold on. Let me get my lids. Those are not lids. That's not a lid. There's lids. Okay. I mean, I think it looks okay. These little cups. I don't know how much they hold. Actually, it holds with the Play-Doh. It holds 2.5 ounces or 2.2 ounces with the Play-Doh. So, how cute is that? Oh my gosh! Oh, Amy, you're so smart. I have a canning funnel. I have a canning funnel right here. Oh, yeah, you're smart. Why is I not that smart? Okay, look, I'm gonna keep closing these up. So if you have not made the jelly soap recipe yet, or if it makes you nervous, or if you if you saw somebody post how hard it was for them and you're like, ooh, I'm scared now, I don't want to do it, just don't listen to that. Okay, it's not hard. It's just it's not hard, right? Once you learn how to do it, it's super quick, like literally no skill or talent involved. But it's the process of getting to where you recognize what you're looking for that is the hard, air quote hard part. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna scroll through and see if there's any questions. How cute are these? These are gonna be perfect. Okay, hold on. This one I think needs more because his friends have more. These little containers, I don't know, I like them, but the lids are a little bit finicky, you know. Oh, okay, and then I have this pot full of like leftover jelly, right? I'm not going to toss it out, obviously. I'm not going to toss it out. What I am going to do is, after the live is over, I'll just reheat it and pour it into some more of these. I'll go get more bunnies and all that stuff. Okay, well, this guy's having a tough time of it, but but it's okay. All right, let me see now. There were questions. Shelly says, can I seal them up with them being that warm? Sure. They have preservative. They're preserved against themselves. So I can. I mean, I could also open them up, though. If you're having issues with a lot of centeresis, then I would say open them up and leave them, like, overnight or something. But, I mean, I got jelly soap from Lush, okay? I got jelly soap from Lush. Look how wiggly it is. I got jelly soap from Lush, and it leaked out. Like, it leaked out of the containers and into the bag I had it in. So, their stuff still does that, too. So, I know that there are people who are like, oh, turn you off. I know that there are people who are like, how do I solve this? How do I never have this happen? Like, you can't. That's like saying you want to make bath bombs that will never fizz unless they're in the water. Like, they're never going to overreact, right? That's not going to happen. Or you want to make, I don't know. You want to make bubble dough that is rock hard but can also be piped. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, anyway, just ignore me. I'm playing with jelly. It's so fun. This is the thing that I am super excited with right now. Play-Doh. Like real Play-Doh. So this isn't like, I'm sorry, I just have to show you. This isn't like bubble dough for like decorating or using as your bath bomb, right? It's only going to be soft. It is so fun to play with. I cannot even describe like how fun it is to play with. You can pick off a little piece. You can roll it into little things. So this is intended for your customer. Like, this is the end product. Just like Play-Doh for the bathtub, because it's cheaper than Wonder. Well, first off, you couldn't do this with Wonder Bar, so it's cheap. This won't do that. The Bubble Magic stuff, it would do this, but it's more expensive, so there's no point in doing that when it's for little kids to make a bubble bath with. And then let me show you this one. This is for like the photography. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh. I had way too much fun making these little things. So anyway, this is coming up very soon. This is coming up very, very soon. Oh, Nectaria says we should call it Fundo since we can't call it Play-Doh. Now you've added another option to my brain. See, I think we were gonna call it Playtime Bubble Dough. I don't know though. Anyway, this is currently something that I'm like almost done with this. Do you know what that means, huh? Bueller? That means we're about to see it go live soon, okay? Okay, so if this is something you've been looking for, honestly, it's so quick and easy to make. Like, this is going to be, to me, the perfect little Easter stocking stuffer type of product. So, let me scroll through and see if there's any questions. I don't think there are. Oh, Amanda says I could let it cool and make some egg soaps too. Yeah, that is a good idea. I think I would have to get a, oh, yeah, my egg molds are like right there. Right there. Okay, hold on. What's the recommended temp for heating the jelly? So the ebook, I think we say go up to like 225,000. I don't know. Hold on. The ebook we say to go to, the thing is though, I don't pay attention to that. So it is good. It's there as a reference, but I'm just saying, like, you can still reach gel even if it doesn't get that far. So, let me see what it says. I think it's boiling point, so like 212. Amanda would probably know more than me, but I don't know. Creating single one center recess, heating safety. Oh yeah, we do have a heating safety warning in there that talks about propylene glycol could be flammable. If it's a concern to you, just use the propanol. It'll be fine. I never had an issue with it, and I cooked it over an open flame gas stove, so yeah. Okay, yeah. Nectarine says the carrageenan you buy should specify a temp as well. Yes, that's also true. And also, your carrageenan will have on it whether or not you need to hydrate it the night before, or if you can do it like I did, where I just mixed it with an ingredient it can mix with, and then pour it. So, I don't see the temperature. It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Yeah. So, make sure that if you're doing this and you don't want to use Phenanip, that you use a preservative that can handle high temperatures. So, like Optifin cannot really handle high temperatures, so I wouldn't use that. But Phenanip can. Euxil PE9010 can handle those higher temperatures. Make sure you just check your preservative. And this, I will just reheat and put in some more of these. And I don't know if you can tell, but these are like super sparkly. Hence the name Super Sparkles. So cute, right? All right. That's pretty, it's so quick. It's so easy. I feel like, it's not a lot. Okay. They might melt. Wait, they might melt for what? Okay. Oh, a canning funnel. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will leave links in the description that have where to get most of this stuff. I don't know where I got the bunnies. I think I got them on Amazon. So if I can still find them, I'll link that. But everything else, like where I get my carrageenan, I get it on Amazon. So, but I'll list all that in the video description. I'll also post this on YouTube later this evening. So if you missed it, you're not going to know right now that I'm saying this. So I don't know why I'm saying it, but if you missed it, go watch it on YouTube as well if you can't get it on Facebook. Anyway, and for Patreon, come to Patreon at 2 o'clock, and we're going to make wiggly bars. We're going to make like more solid bars. So these are jiggly. Actually, this is probably ready. Hold on. This will be our sacrificial lamb. Look at that. How can you tell me? You can't tell me that's not fun. Will children destroy it? Yes, they pretty much destroy everything if you let them. So like if I was giving this to parents, this is a perfect single size portion. If it was a bigger bar, I would probably tell parents like, just give them the portion that just give them a very small portion, and you can put it in a bubble basket with other like bubble bar stuff, or you could put it in I don't know, you can use it as a body gel so you can scrub it all over yourself, whatever. This one's obviously personal use one now since I've touched all over it, but I wanted to show you how wiggly and fun it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and as always, Amanda confirmed children will murder it. Yeah, they do that. My brother, I gave him some the bath crayons for my nephew, and he was like, he just squeezed it until it popped. I was like, yeah, like you have to supervise them. His wife was out of town, so Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Catch you in a little bit. Bye. Happy making. Boop. Trying to remember how I end this. The end.